All right, so time for our midday market recap. This is a great way to finish the week, up $8,123.64 today. So I'm going to write that down here on my calendar. That puts me up about $20,000 in uh, the last 7 days, which is crazy. That's, that's a really nice hot streak. So definitely really glad to have some solid follow through this week. We've been seeing just great action, and it culminated today with a couple of really fantastic trades. So today's one of those days where I applied the three concepts that we talk about in the trading courses: risk management, stock selection, and chart patterns. Today was a hot market, and this was the time to put the pedal to the metal and get aggressive. I got aggressive, and I'm walking away with $8,000 profit. So great way to finish the week. Really, I'm just very happy with that. So that's the best day of the month, and uh, you know, you just never know. A couple days like this, and your month can turn around really quickly, right? $8,000 days. It doesn't take much of them to give you a $20,000 month. So the thing that's tough is that sometimes you have to sit and kind of wait for these really good A quality setups and these big days. So sometimes you'll have 2 or 3 weeks that are just sort of sideways or choppy. My first week of the month, I lost around $3,000. Second week of the month was break even, and the first day of the month I lost money also. That was the end of the last week. So those basically two really choppy weeks, and then here in 1 week I've made it all back and then some. So that's the benefit of having a good either good accuracy or good profit loss ratio, that you're able to get yourself out of the hole pretty quickly once things are kind of back up and looking strong. So let's look at the trades from today. Those of you on Facebook Live, there's the P&L. So $8,164, or 1,000. Sorry, $8,123.64, and you can see the stocks I traded. So 5 stocks, green on all 5, which is definitely the type of accuracy that I like to have. Okay, so I'll turn that around, put that back down there. So first trade of the day, let's scroll up to the top here. Lots of trades today. Commissions are going to be on the higher side. Total tickets, 64 tickets today, and I traded 100,000 shares, added 16,000 shares for adding liquidity. So, for sure, 116,000 shares of volume. It's a lot trading, 64 trades, but it was worth it. So first trade of the day was on AKTX. All right, so AKTX, this was on our scanner. It was gapping up. There was news out overnight of a price upgrade, big move yesterday. Gave me a $3,000 winner yesterday. Today pulled back a little bit, or pulled back a little bit yesterday afternoon, and then this morning I was watching as it started to pop up, and we had a pre-market high of $10. Okay, so Gap and Go says my entry would be a break of the pre-market highs. And so with the pre-market high of 10, I was thinking about getting in at 10, and then I noticed right around 990, I believe it was a 20,000 share seller. So that seller was sitting there, and as I saw the buyers come in, it went from 20, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, and boom, that's when I pressed the buy button, and I got long at 6, sorry, I'm off with my numbers, at 989, and then I doubled at 995, as you can see right here. So my average was whatever, 993. It pops up to 1018, I sell half. I sell another half at 1018, pops up to 24, I sell more. 29, I sell more. I try to sell more at 1036, I don't get filled, and I sell the rest at $10. So very first trade right out of the gates this morning was like $720, which is a fantastic start to the day. I'm always happy to start the day with a $700 winner. $1,000 is the daily goal. So to do that with only 3,000 shares is definitely not bad. So the setup here was just for a break of that pre-market high, and we popped up all the way to 1049, and then we pulled back. So that was my first trade on AKTX, and I don't think I traded that one again. No, actually I did. I got back in this right here on the 5-minute setup for the first 5-minute candle to make a new high. I'll scroll down a little bit. This one was an entry at 10, or was it 9? It was at 960, I believe. Yeah, back in 1,500 shares at 960. I sold half at 966 and the rest at 959 and 951. So I ended up actually making only $2.25 on that trade. So there was nothing exciting there. It didn't work out. Basically, it was a losing trade with commissions, but I was looking for that first 5-minute candle to make a new high, and then a break over VWAP, and to move back to high a day. We were not able to do that, so I stopped out pretty quickly. So those are the two trades I took on AKTX. So the second trade today, and remember, my watch list this morning was, I was watching 4 stocks. I was watching AKTX, I was watching ARDM, I was watching, what was it? SVRA, and I was watching CYCC. Those are the 4 stocks I was watching. So the second trade was on ARDM. ARDM, let me pull this back up here for those of you that are looking at the chart. So I saw it starting to pop up. Yesterday it had a pretty strong day, and we were watching it actually over 214 pre-market. That was the level we were watching. We thought 214 made sense because yesterday had a high of 220, but then a little consolidation around 214. So that's the level we were watching. But the market opens and the volume was pretty light, and so I didn't end up taking a trade on it at 214. It pops up to 229, pops up to 244, and then it hits 250. And so then I was like, okay, this thing is clearly strong on a micro pullback. And even on the 1-minute chart, you can't see the pullback. But if I pull this back down to like a 1-second chart, so we just see like almost the ticks, you'll see this little pullback under 250. And that was my entry. So I'll back this up for you guys. So, whoa, I turned on the flash. I didn't even know that was possible. Oh my gosh. Well, sorry guys. I'll put my finger over it. That's crazy. Okay, so anyways, you can see right here that little pullback under 250. So that's where I jumped in, 250. And it pops up to 288, which is crazy. We don't usually see them pop up that high. And so my first add was at 250. And then I added 2,500 shares at 287, as you can see there. And I added another 1,000 shares at 304. So by that time, I had 11,000 shares, and my average was like 259. I had a great average, and it pops up all the way to a high of 327. I mean, what a move. So on this one, I stopped out and took my profit, and that was selling right around $3 and kind of that area. So first trade on it, I made $4,125 roughly. Got back in for a second trade. This was on the 1-minute chart. Pull this back here. Back in at 311. We pop up to a high of 327. So I was back in at 311, 9,000 shares. We popped up to the high of 327. I sold at 325, 323, 323, 319 on the rest. So overall, decent trade there. And with that, it put me up 5,000, right around $5,000. So that was on 2 trades on ARDM. Now, after those trades, that's when I took that little trade on AKTX and lost or made $2, whatever. And then I got back in ARDM. And this is where my day started to look a little rough because I got back in ARDM twice and I lost money on both of those trades. I got back in first, let's see, right here at 75. I got in with 5,000 shares at 275. I thought it was going to make a first 5-minute candle to make a new high and break over the VWAP. That didn't happen. I stopped out at 65 and lost 500 bucks. Then I got back in at 73 thinking, okay, it didn't work the first time, but I think it's going to work this time. And I stopped out again at 65 and lost another 500 bucks. So I lost $1,000 on those two trades. So I went from being up 5,000 on that stock to up only $3,966, which is still good, but I did give back $1,000 of profit. And then we saw IZEA squeeze up. And this was kind of funny because it hit our high day scanners. These scanners are one of our favorite tools because it just shows us when stocks are spiking up. So it shows this IZEA stock spiking up, and I look at it and I'm like, well, I don't think I can really trust it because it's priced at it just popped up to 260, but the bid is 250 and the volume is only 80,000 shares. I don't know, guys. And I just lost $1,000 on the last two trades. Plus my trade on AKTX was only $2. So that's when I was thinking maybe I should just throw in the towel today. Maybe I'm not having, maybe I had a good couple trades and now I just got to stop. Well, it ends up squeezing all the way up to $3, getting halted on a circuit breaker and then opening higher. So I kind of regretted that. Well, I was just a little more conservative on that, but I missed an entire dollar per share. I could have done really well if I jumped in it. So having just missed that, when the next stock hit the scanner, which was SRAX, I said, I'm not going to let that happen again, and I'm going to jump in it. So I jumped in this as soon as it was hitting the scanner at $1.50. You can see my entry here at $1.50. And I added it $1.58. Let's see. So I ended up with, I tried to take 7,500 shares at $1.50. I only filled 1,400, and the rest I filled at 158. So I had 3,900 shares at an average of like 155 or something like that. This pops up to a high of 206, which is phenomenal. So on this one, we got that big move up to 206, and I sold that around, I tried to sell at 207. I didn't get filled, so I sold at 96, and basically sold an average of 90. So on SRAX, I made 1,400 bucks. Even though I only took 3,900 shares and I won 7,500, I still had a really great trade on it. And while that was happening, IZEA was consolidating. So then I jumped in that trade for the break of 350. 1 minute micro pullback, entered at 350, popped up to a high of 375, took my profit there. So I ended up making 650 bucks also on IZEA. So at that point, I'm up, what was it, around $6,500 on the day or something like that. And I was like, this day is really coming together. This is looking pretty good. And then HMNY hits the scanners. So now we have HMNY, and this is a stock that we've traded several times in the last few days. So I saw this one popping up, and I jumped in it at 6:44 and 6:45. So that was at 10:33 a.m. So let's see, we'll pull this back. And of course, this is one of those times where hindsight being 20/20, it could have held it a little longer. But on the 1 minute chart, we had this little pullback here, and then we popped up to a high of 644. And again, just like AKTX, we had a 20,000 share seller. I saw the seller, and it went from 20, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, and boom, I start pressing the order once and twice, and now I'm in this I only filled partial. I didn't fill my full 5,000 shares. I filled 2,700. And I'm in at 44, and I end up selling at 60, or trying to sell at 60, sold at 57, and like 55. So I made 250 bucks on that first trade on HMNY. And then I decided to get back in it. It continues to be strong, and so I got back in. Now my second entry was 740. I was really impressed with this flag that we had here. And out of 680, that bull flag broke out so nicely, and I missed it, but I was able to capitalize on this move right here, getting in at 740 and selling on the move um, up to just under $8. My best exit on this was uh, 790, and high of day was $8. So, or high of day was 795. So pretty good on that one. Ended up making a total of $1,382 on HMNY. So that's how you get yourself up to an $8,000 day, one trade at a time. I fortunately had one pretty good winner on ARDM, and I probably could have had a bigger winner on HMNY and a bigger winner on IZEA if I'd been a little more aggressive. This could have potentially been a $10,000 or $15,000 day, but things have been good. Momentum has been really picking up the last 7 days, but I've been a little cautious to try to go crazy because I don't want to get overly aggressive and then get slammed back down. So today was, for the most part, fairly low risk, managing my risk on every trade, following the rules of the strategy, and making $8,000. So one of the things that I say is, or I like to say, is that trading is easy, but learning to trade is hard. Once you learn and once you know how to trade, this is easy. Making $8,000 today was really easy. I just sat down and followed the rules of my strategy. The problem is most beginner traders don't have any rules. They don't have a strategy, and so it's guesswork. It's trial and error. And that's what takes so long. That's what took me, 2 years of just kind of losing money because I couldn't figure out the rules. So for you guys, the name of the game really is learning the rules and letting me teach you them so you can be trading in the room side by side with me. John, he had a great day today. I think he made $3,500 or something. I saw many of you guys posting some really good winners, so really happy to see that. And Greg, I don't have usually too much fear when I'm above my daily goal with continuing to trade if I have a really good cushion. And ARDM, I all week have been trading with 10,000 shares. My share size was no different today. ARDM just ended up moving up 40 cents after I got in. So suddenly I ended up getting a really big winner. And so, when I get a trade like that, it just gives me such a great cushion on the day that now I can be a little bit more aggressive. So my commissions today, I'll have to calculate them, but they're probably going to be, well, my phone is my calculator and I'm Facebook Live right now, but 64 times 250 is going to be my commission. So so what's that? 160, so 120 plus 30, $150 or whatever, and then I've got my ECN fees on 116,000 shares, which is probably going to be 0.002 or something like that, 0.0015. So commissions are probably going to be close to $300 today, and that's fine. I'm not concerned about that. On a regular day, my commissions are between $100 and $150 trading with 10,000 shares, trading with big size. So having a day like today where I take a bunch of trades, it's not surprising that it would be higher. So anyways, so ending here the week with a total this week, let's see, right around $15,000. And total in the last 7 days, just under 20 grand. So definitely puts a really nice dent in the monthly goal, and it only takes a couple days like that each month to get there. So the frustrating thing is when you have an entire month where you're sitting and grinding and you don't get that big trade, you don't get that big day. But fortunately we got it this month, and we still have all of next week. So I really hope this momentum continues into next week and we're able to just enjoy a really strong, hopefully end of September and then a really strong fourth quarter. All right, so that's the game plan, or that's kind of the wrap up for today and game plan for next week a little bit. So I hope you guys all have a great weekend, get some rest, and I will see you all first thing on Monday morning. Okay, thanks guys.
Oh hey, I didn't see you there. Well, I was just working on the dream board for my next home run trade. Hopefully it comes soon. Until then, make sure you subscribe to get email alerts anytime I go live or upload new videos. Until then, happy surfing